What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. Let's go ahead and take a look at XRP, guys. This is actually the channel that we were talking about just yesterday that may potentially build, right? So we did get that build, and we were talking about a potential lower bound of around 230, 233. We even mentioned the possibilities of down to around 230. We have knocked out those targets, and we have kind of concentrated around some of those, right? We actually had the 230 down here and resisted from the 232 on top, 233 area, but we did kind of dive down a little bit deeper into that 226.82, 227 area. But nonetheless, we did reacquire the inside of that channel, and we have now decided to start the breakout process. Now, what I will say is that I wish that we had a couple more tests to the upside here to really make not certain, right? To gain the higher probability of breakout from this thing. At these levels here, there could be some liquidity grabs. There could be a little bit of a fake out here, but that's okay. The reason I think that we're going upside is just based on what we were talking about yesterday on that weekly close, right, guys? So take a look at this. This is your look at this. This is your prior bar here, right? Now, the 50% of this weekly bar, which of course is going to be lower than where we are right now, right? That would be right down to the areas of around 218. So I'm not saying that we're going there. In fact, we would have to invalidate the play by using other forms of support, right? For example, this support down here at around 230, that would be another, again, it would be another support bound for us to kind of use as validation before getting down there to that 218. In fact, there's another area of support right up in here around the 232, 233 area, even still. Okay, fair enough. But what I will say is that typically when you close a green bar like this, price action typically favors the proximity to the inflection point to where you are at that present moment, right? So if it is the case that we're actually getting the inflection point to kind of validate here, then would it be first that we're observing the upside here, right? So yeah, the proximity would be closer towards that upper bound first, which would lead price action here to the recent high that we just did yesterday. We were talking about a potential 250, 252 high yesterday, and we reached a very close to a 248. So I'm suspecting of that actual thing happening here. A little bit of resistance coming up at 239.61, right? That could actually bring price down to 233 before bouncing again and potentially trying to get that resistance at around that 247, 248 target as we speak. It's looking good. It's looking good, right? But so far the analysis is kind of performing what we initially said just yesterday. Now, I guess it's going to be we're going to go ahead and take a look at the volatility metric right now and find out what's actually going on, and if we're able to determine what that is. Now, I want to take a look at this triangle here, right, guys? But we want to observe what the psychological side of things are saying. So check it out. Remember that we had a support bound here that could be used as an area to bounce to the upside, and that's actually where we came down to just yesterday, right, guys? So it actually did come down all the way down to these targets, despite the fact that we were looking at a 230 or 232, 230 to 233, and even into the 239 levels. So the 240 level that we spoke of, I want to remind you that was used as an area that we used to bounce first. So check it out. We concentrated around that areas of 237 to around 239. So consolidated in here. Then we finally broke out from that area there, right? We kind of broke the inflection of the 232, bounced off of that 230 area. Then we started to contract in this area too, just before or just after bouncing off of this 227 bottom side, which then proved that this is actually a great area for support. So should we come back and test this zone one more time? I guess we're going to have to watch out for those things right now, right, guys? But so far, the Omega LITE is actually telling us that we do have a bit of a bear phase active at the present moment. Now, I will say that we're actually curving the sentiment right now, guys. So there actually may be a shift of that bear phase into the upside. In fact, the more immediate short terms is kind of indicating that there could be upside. It's already turning green in the shorter term. So if we have green in the shorter term, that means that it's still going to start cascading into the larger time frames, right? So this is a larger time. It's 40 minutes long, right? So this, I mean, so far the active phases from Omega LITE have been working pretty nicely here, right? So this was all the way back from, this was Tuesday, March 11th. And since then, it has maintained this active bull phase. And now it's actually turning into a bear phase for the moment right now, right? So I'm not saying that this is it here. I'm just saying that we have to kind of watch out, as we did speak about a potential, I can't call this a bull trap. I would actually call it more of a fake out, right? Before we come back and test some areas before continuation. I got to say, XRP's chart is looking better than many other charts, including Solana, Ethereum, even Bitcoin at that. Okay, guys, so it is worth something here, and it's worth noting. All right, guys, so I will encourage you to pick up now. This is officially live. I've already started assigning the people who purchased their Omega LITE indicators, right, guys? So it is live now. Make sure to pick it up at that link at the top right of the screen right now, so that it can be yours forever for one tiny fee, guys. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate your continuing love here for the Arca Bulls team. So let's go ahead and take a look, right? Like we said, what is momentum doing right now, right? Because we're moving up right now. We're going to 236 right now, guys. And, a lot of people didn't even know that this was possible, but it is, and it's doing it, right? So let's go down to granular levels in volatility versus momentum. We want to go ahead and use every tool that we have available to us, right? And if I could mention, just take a look at this, right? This is the advance, right? So this is Omega, not LITE, Omega Advance, which is also live now. The higher time frame confirmation is at a bullish phase. Okay, despite the fact that we're within bear strength, it is bullish. So just putting it out there, right, guys? So Advance is giving us a different feel to this too. So just heads up, because I do believe that there could be a pretty nice continuation towards the upside for now. Like I said, into the 250, 252 before pulling back. Let's just make sure that we can observe what volatility does. So let's go ahead and pull that up right now. Let's go down to let's go down to more immediate short terms. How about that 10-minute? Okay. 10-minute time frame is actually getting a spike of volatility towards that upside. Look at this. Good stuff. How is that actually? Well, is the 5-minute doing it, right? Yeah, the 5-minute is doing it. Presently speaking, it's got a 50% prior bar pullback. That's probably going to bounce off of the 235.84. Volatility spiking, right? Remember, this is your acceleration. This is your direction bias. Now, 10-minute time frame, same situation. Spiking, upside bias here. We have 3 minutes to go, so likely decompressing to its 50% around 235.84, same as the 5-minute, right? 15-minute time frame is showing a little neutral here, but with volatility spiking. So that means that we could actually continue overbuying on this, despite the fact that it's way overbought here. 30-minute time frame, check this out. We just started a new phase, and it shows that it had a little bit of weakness on this. Okay, so if it's pulling back all the way to 235.39 within the next 22 minutes, and it does have a lot of volatility here, by the way, guys, what would that reason be? Could it be the fact that we're closing an hour time frame now? Well, we did, right? 8 minutes ago, there has been an hourly close, and then the hourly close pullback could be down to 235.81, which is confluent to that 30-minute time frame pullback, and this still has a great amount of upside to go. So that means now, guys, that if we're using the bi-hourly time frame for the upside pivot that this has as the total amount of downside that we have based on the bi-hourly time frame being the last one, or the hourly being the last one before it has this massive upside bias here, then we would look at about a 3 to maybe a shy 4 cents, 3 to 4 cents here of pullback before we can continue towards the upside. So that would be figured from the opening of the bi-hourly bar. So opening of the bi-hourly bar would sit at let's see, 235. So the ATR low would actually come down to around a 231.66. What do you know, right? And we were just talking about that about a few minutes ago. We were talking about potentially coming back down to test the areas that we just kind of used, right? 232 to around 230. So if that is the case, guys, then so be it, right? That would kind of prove that we had a little bit of a fake out on this upside, come back, validate some supports, and continue. If we did that, then we would be setting now a different trend. Check this out, right, guys? Let me go ahead and point them out to you. This is now a low. Right now, in the immediate short term, we just did another low. But the important thing is that it's a higher low. And then guess what? We would start a new phase of higher highs, right? So then the thing is that we'll come back down here. Even if we did come back down into this area here, guess what? That is now a new higher low. And that would be preceded here to a new higher high, right? So it's looking pretty good. I do think that we have some interesting things in line. This is part of a breakout process. I do still see, in fact, the maximum downside using volatility, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at that one more time. Yeah, the maximum downside was 2 hours. That's about it. So if it is the case that we're going to be dropping down to the areas of around 231, well, that could be the local floor, right? So now continuing, check it out. 3-hour time frame does have a nice bit of volatility coming in, an hour and 50 minutes to close, upside bias on stochastic momentum. 4-hour time frame, great volatility looking okay here, and upside bias on that 4-hour as well, right? So now if we did come back to a 231 or 230, well, guess what? Let's just mark off that 231 target right over here, and let's see what it says, right? So if it is the 231 target, remember what we talked about yesterday. 60 to 70% chances that you'll get a 30 to 50% prior bar pullback. Well, 10 minutes ago, we opened up this 4-hour bar. This is the prior bar. 50% of that prior bar is where? Well, 231, right? Nice. All right. So if it is the case, guys, then maybe that's going to be maybe this is going to be the little bit of a peekaboo, a little bit of a fake out here before we come back down, test onto the 232, 231, 230 area, and then maybe we have a continuation to the upside as all of these larger timeframes are potentially suggesting, right? Nice. Good thing, guys. So the 6-hour time frame is suggesting now a potential shift in that sentiment as well. 8-hour time frame looks like we have a downside continuation. So whatever happens here, guys, this is going to be the next step. All these immediate short-term time frames will then start cascading, or domino effect. It's going to be like a domino effect, right? They're going to start cascading into this larger time, because the 8-hour was showing downside, but it's showing downside with contraction, meaning that there is no or there's, lesser and lesser participants towards the downside. In other words, this thing could start a little bit of a squeeze here. Okay, so if that is the case, check this out. 3 hours and 48 minutes to go, and this is so far the green bar printing an 8-hour candle, returning the entire red that it did yesterday and more. So yeah, there could be a shift here towards the upside here pretty soon, which then would lead to continuing price action towards the upside. I do think, guys, that 247, 250, 252 is in line for the immediate short term. Just remember that we do have a little bit of a pullback coming in. Always got to be safe around those targets. And yeah, I think as long as we are staying above that 231 area actually, I do think that if we stay anywhere between 227 and 231 above that, then we are actually potentially in more of a green zone than we are to the red. So guys, if you want to learn how to do this, right, remember that I have officially started the enrollment process for the new beginners masters course, right, guys? So this is going to be for charting and trading. Arc Masters course at gmail.com is where you want to get in touch here with me, and I'll go ahead and send you your syllabus and disclaimer and get you enrolled. Okay, guys, make sure to do that before all seats are taken. We're going to be starting here in just a few weeks, maybe even 2 weeks. All right, so make sure to get that going right away, and make sure to pick up your algorithms too. Okay, team, I love you all very much, and I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. Throw those ATWs in the chat right now for watching it all the way. I love your support, team. Thank you so much, and I'm watching all the time. I love you guys so dearly, and I hope that this is working out for you. All right, team, we are doing the best that we can here at the Arca Bulls team to bring the XRP community the best analysis that there is, and let's move on forward. All right, guys, fight on through. The sky is the fucking limit. All right, team, I love you all so much, and we will speak very, 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 very soon. All right, team. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as it cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever, ever, 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 ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.